Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about the most important concept before using any Azure service, which is the Azure subscription. Think of the Azure subscription as like if you are using Netflix or Spotify. So in order to watch movies, you need to have a Netflix account, a credit card, and then a subscription or a monthly subscription to be able to watch movies. Same thing goes for Spotify. Microsoft Azure works the same way as Netflix and Spotify. In order to be able to create Azure resources or even move your resources from on-premises to the cloud, you need to have an Azure account or an Azure subscription, and then this subscription is going to be linked to your credit card. This way, this is the only way to be able to consume and utilize and create resources within the Azure subscription. So think of the Azure subscription as the mother of the Azure resources. So whether you're going to create a virtual machine or storage account or AI services, these services live within the Azure subscription. From your Azure subscription, you have a billing and cost management. So this is where you track your cost, view your invoices, set a billing alerts, and do a lot of management for the billing stuff. So by the end of this video, you will be able to know how would you create an Azure subscription, what are the free services that you can leverage, what are the 12-month free trial services that you can use within 1 year period. Ready to make the Azure cloud your comfortable zone? Let's get started.
In this demo, we are going to view some of the documentations about how would you create your Azure Free Trial subscription. So the first thing that you need to do is to create a Hotmail account. Okay, so basically you go to hotmail.com and then create a free account. So using this way, you have both options, like either you create a Hotmail or Outlook account. So as you can see, you just select your email, type whatever your email alias, and then you could choose Outlook or Hotmail. So both work for the free trial subscription. Okay, then you can just type here free trial Azure subscription. If you click on hit enter, you have these options. The first one is the student subscription. Basically, if you don't have a credit card, so as you can see, no credit card is required. So all you need to do is just to have a Hotmail account, also provide your university email address, and then you will be able to have a free trial subscription with $100. So if you go there, it will exactly tell you the offer. So basically here, available only for full-time university students, no credit card required. So you can see here, you will get $100 credits that you can use it for any service. And when you finish it, you have 12 months for also free services. Once you finish the 12-month period, then you have to supply with your credit card. If you didn't do that, then your subscription is going to be disabled and you will lose access to all of the resources. So what you need to do is just click on sign up here. I'm not gonna do the the Azure Student subscription. I will just do the the free trial, the regular free trial with credit card, because this is the most common. But you know where to go. It's just to add your email address. Then it will ask you for your university account. So the other one is the free trial subscription. So when you have a credit card, you also have a 12 months free, and then you have a $200 credit that you can leverage. But this is only to be used within 30 days. Okay, so the other one is $100 for 12 months. You can finish it whenever you can. And then, as I mentioned, there are what we call it the take advantage of the free products. So there are products or services that they are completely free, and some of them are available for 12 months. Even if you have you're using just the pay as you go, which is basically once your trial period finish after 12 months, or you finish your 200 credit card, your $200 credits, and you just want to convert to pay as you go, you still have like kind of free services that you can leverage, and services that's going to be available for 12 months. Okay, so now if I click on see all services here, so as you can see, it's telling you there are two things: 65 plus always free services, which means is that no matter if you are free trial or like full version, and then it will show you all the services, which one is available for 12 months, which one is like always free. Things like virtual network is free, but when you have peering configured, then you pay for money. But you can click on always free, and then you explore, okay, AI anomaly detector. Then you have 20,000 transaction free, so that's always every month. So AI bot service, same thing. Like AI content safety, 3 million character here, AI immersive reader, AI language 500 text record, AI search. There is also 50 megabyte for 10,000 hosted document and 3 indexes per service, so always free, and so on. So you can see like what are the services that you can leverage. This is always, which mean is that whether like you're having like the pay as you go or the free trial, both they are always going to be free for you. Okay, so as you can see, like you have many of them. Microsoft Entra ID free is also always free, so you can test many different things even if you pass your 12 months period. And then you have here the 12 months free. So the 12 months free, which is basically once you finish it, then you start to pay for it. So you can see these are the services that you can see what's free and what is not free. Plus you have the $200 for the free trial subscription. Okay. So if we go back again, we can just click on try it for free. Okay. So we click on try for free, and then we add the the email address. So I have created an email address, which is just a test. So let me copy paste here, and then click on next. Enter your password. And then you're ready to go. So here, I'll just do something like skip for now. That's fine. No. So here, it's very simple. You will just need to provide your information, like what is the reason of using this Azure subscription. So you're gonna see for personal use, or maybe for using connection in organization, university, and so on. And then where is your location, what is your name, and then add your your phone number. And then solve the puzzle. So once you solve the puzzle, you click next, add your address, like Ireland, Dublin, and then just city, Dublin. And just I represent the individual identified here, so next. Now the next page is gonna ask you to add your credit card number and everything, and then you click sign up. That's it. So once you click sign up, you will have an Azure subscription, and then you need to type portal.azure.com. So I've already have an Azure subscription. So what I will do is just sign in to my Azure portal. So portal.azure.com. It will ask you to log in with your Hotmail account or the newly created one. So as you can see here, again, I don't like this one, just fictitious, but I'm just showing you here that you need to sign in to the Azure portal. So once you signed in, you will see something like this. So as you can see, I have an Azure subscription here. So you will get a free Microsoft Entra ID tenant. So if you click, let me just zoom in here. If you click on the hamburger menu here, like the three things, and then you can see there's Microsoft Entra ID. So Microsoft Entra ID is the identity. Again, it's visible within your Azure subscription, but it's not an Azure resource. Okay, so you need to know that, and I will talk about this in details on a later video. But you will see it on M365 portal as well, everywhere. So some people think, oh, it's an M365 resource. No, it's not an M365 resource or even an Azure resource. It is a global directory that all the cloud services trusted by default. So whenever you create new account, by default, a free Microsoft Entra ID is going to be created. And then your Entra ID, it will have a tenant here. So this tenant is different from the Azure subscription itself. So if I search for subscriptions or hit subscription here, you will see I will have one active Azure subscription, which is the ID here is completely different. Okay, now if I take a look here, you will find that there is a subscription ID linked to this Entra ID tenant, which is my email great2020.onmicrosoft.com. Okay, because I don't have a domain here. And then you can see here, as I mentioned, you can cancel the subscription, you can rename this subscription, so you can change the directory. So basically, by default, Azure subscription can only trust one Microsoft Entra ID. So if you would like to change the directory services, you can actually change it and then select a different directory service to migrate from one Entra ID tenant to the other. A lot of customers does that when they are maybe bought a new company and they would like to change the old Entra ID to their own Entra tenant. So this way they can change everything, but they will lose, of course, access to the role-based access control. So it needs to be assigned and so on. But that's an advanced security scenario. But again, it's there. You can do transfer billing ownership to a different Hotmail account and so on. This tab is regularly unified, like the role-based access control. This is where you give permissions to users, right? So all the users going to be created in Microsoft Entra here. So you need to create your users or groups, and then from there you can if I click under users here, then you can assign a certain user to that Azure subscription. Okay, so if I go back here, then I just can click on my Azure subscription one more time, and then I can just add role-based access control, and from there I can assign a user. So just one role I would like to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about everything here. I'm not going to cover everything, but there is something called owner permission. Okay, so if I click on privileged administrator here, you can see there is owner and contributor. So owner is like the god of subscription. This guy can assign other users, give permissions to that Azure subscription, but also get full access to everything. Okay, so he can delete resources, create resources, and so on. If there are scope, again, I can give somebody VM administrator, network administrator, or or contributor, or whatever, storage account, data reader, and so on. So these kind of permissions, each permission has its own access and their own policies or permissions that they can do or execute within the Azure subscription and so on. But again, you just select the permission, then click on next, select a users or group, select your email address, and then you go to go. Okay, so that's also one thing. The other thing is that you will be able to see your billing. All right, so manage all the billing. So your credit card is going to be linked here. You have a payment method where your credit card live here. You will have your cost analysis. So this is where you can view your costs. Maybe I would like to see my current cost now, what kind of Azure services I provisioned. Maybe I would like to see maybe the last this month, or maybe custom date. Maybe I want to see September till today. So I can see the actual cost and then the forecast based on the running resources here. Okay. Of course, I can change different filters. I can play around here, like, to see the line, maybe column, and then see these ones. I would like to see here by the daily cost. Maybe I would like to see my reservations and so on. So there are many different things. You can see here there are the service name, the location, and then the resource group. So each resource group and so on. As I mentioned, also your Azure subscription. So there's a lot here. I'm not going to cover everything today, but this is where you see your costs. This is where you manage, create an alert to send you an email. This is where you can set budget, like when my subscription reached to $200, send me an email, for example, and so on. This is where you see the AI recommendations about cost, reliability, security, and so on. We will talk about this as well. And then if you scroll all the way down, the usage and quota that I've explained in the beginning of the video. So this is where you have certain quota on each region, right? So let me just filter one region here. Just try UK South, and then we click apply. So as you can see here, it's telling me exactly the total regional spot vCPUs, for example, or maybe a specific virtual machine family. I can also take a look here, like maybe I just want to see the networking that I can create within the UK region. So how many virtual networks I can create, how many custom IP address, how many public IP address I can create, so up to 1,000. And then if I would like to adjust this limit, I can just create a support ticket and then ask the support to open that limit for me. As I mentioned, some of them are hard limit, that's mean the support ticket is going to tell you create a new subscription. That's why we have there's in the cloud adoption framework, the subscription democratization to create more than one subscription, like one for dev test, one for production, one for staging, and so on. We will talk about these designs, but for now, just to be aware that there are limits for these resources, so it's not just unlimited for everything. Okay. You can see there are policies that you can enforce here for regularity and compliance. We will talk about it for cybersecurity. And then the most important is the, what I call it here, the resources that lives within the subscription. So let me just take a look. Where can I find this? Yeah, if I click on up here, resources. So as you can see, all the resources are tied to this Azure subscription. Okay, so they are linked to it, and then that's why you will be able to see when you create something, or this is is it per month, is it per minute, some of them are per hour, and so on. If you deleted them, then you're not paying for it. So think about it as just your apartment, right? So you're consuming electricity, and then by the end of months you pay for what you have consumed. So depends on the number of kilowatts that you have utilized in your electricity, from microwave to the TV and so on. Then you will be charged by $100, $200 and so on. That's the same thing. So you create a virtual machine. You normally charge per second. Some of them are per minute. Some of them are per hour and so on. And then by the end of each month, you will have a bill. Hey, you need to pay that, and then you need to pay it from your credit card, basically. Yeah.
That's it. I hope my video was useful for you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.